the story is told of the great Eastern monk and mystic Seraphim of Sarov, that he had a friend who had spent a while with him, and they prayed into the hours of the night together, and they remained in prayer all night. And as the first rays of dawn were breaking, his friend, who was managing to keep awake, noticed that Seraphim was radiant. He was going into ecstasy. And somehow, because they were linked in the Lord, he was caught up in it as well. And yet there was communication between them, for Seraphim asked his friend, "What do you feel?" "I feel an immense well-being," he said. "An unspeakable peace." And Seraphim answered, "This is the peace of which the Lord spoke. The peace that the world cannot give." We priests are always in contact with pain, much invisible pain, and part of it comes from absence of peace. If one looks around the planet, one sees people everywhere who are not at peace. People who are angry without realizing it are betraying the fact that they are not at peace. They're not at peace with themselves, with their conscience, and therefore, even though they will not own it, they're not at peace either with their Maker. Whether they want to or not, they cannot completely dismiss. Secretly, there is always the nagging thought, what if? Therefore they have to cancel the problem of what might await the soul one day. They push it away, and they secretly try to justify themselves before that unknown mystery by a whole barrage of accusations of what is wrong out there. But we cannot really succeed in that operation. In the last resort, the soul stands alone. If it cannot face itself, it cannot really face others either, or its king. On the other hand, one finds souls who, with very little in this world, are actually at peace. And they have, out of the little joys that come to them, enough to be getting on with. And their soul is settled. They are at peace. They are in a state of light. The light which illumines Jerusalem in the reading from the Apocalypse. The very Lamb himself is in them, and the indwelling of which the Gospel today speaks is in their souls. God has made his abode in them, and God, finding a peaceful soul, finds rest. Today, how many communions will be made in the midst of noise and agitation? Those both agitation of the conscience and agitation of the place of worship. We are greatly favoured in the inhabitation when the ambit in which we are bathed in worship is serene, uplifting, Godward. If there is unpeace in our places of worship and in our communities, the problem is not on the level of the unpeace itself, but actually on its cause. Why are there so many communities that are not at peace amongst themselves? How can we be consecrated to prayer and get it so wrong when it comes to relationships? One can ask the question, is the prayer itself pure? Are we loving God when we are so good at causing pain? The reading from the Acts today shows brethren in unity. It has seemed well to the Holy Spirit and to ourselves, the first council of the Church, and a kind of encyclical coming out of it, to get to the point. Do not complicate the gospel with unnecessary extras. We can be so keen on the extras, even ritual, that we actually lose peace, and any ritual involved is self-defeating, for we have created what? An ambit of pain. The brethren, as we see in the Acts, were of one heart and one mind, something that the Holy Father has picked up in illo uno. Peace bonds souls. Friends are relaxed when they are together in peace. And so it is with Jesus. He takes delight in the peaceful soul. Lord, give me your peace. Peace, perfect peace, is the gift of Christ my Lord. Peace, perfect peace, is the gift of Christ my Lord. Blessed the Lord, will the world know my own. Peace, perfect peace, is the gift of Christ my Lord.